Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Guild Wars 1 Let's Play. We are here, finally, in Vabbi, in Wehan Terrace. Wehan? Yeah. These terraces were originally created by the monastic order dedicated to the goddess Duena. The restorative nature of the natural springs here made the location a regular stop for pilgrims. Though the order has since died out, its buildings and beautiful landscape remains as a testament to their devotion. Let's go have a little look around the outpost, shall we? The Cornan peasant must have escaped Corna. Interestingly, this bridge here is very Cornan architecture as we get into Vabbi, but I really like this outpost. This is probably one of my favorite outposts. The buildings here are super cool. There's this really cool statue Duena over here that's salt like gold and awesome. You see the cobwebs. It's kind of an older place. And here we kind of see one of our first looks at like the Vabian guards, very more like Arabian Nights themed compared to like I don't know what you would call this, like traditional African, I guess probably would be the term, like, or like maybe Central African style. These are more Arabian Nights themed. But let's have a talk to these guys. Welcome to Vabbi, traveler. You look as if you've journeyed through rough lands, eh? May Alyssa's blessing guide you here. Oh, that's another thing. Vabbi as a whole really likes Alyssa as a god, because they're all about beauty and kind of opulence, that kind of stuff. Rally the princes. The strangest thing happened just a few moments ago. A devout sister of Alyssa inquired about visitors she was expecting from afar. I told her I didn't see anyone. She left. Now, no, where are you up here? Her name is Kahani. She said she would be waiting in the Attendee Canyons. I can only assume she's waiting for you. I'll seek this priestess and discover what she wants. Are you sure you haven't been hitting the grog? But yeah, it looks like there's quite a few Cornans here, so maybe this is a route that Cornans take to escape Varesh. But this is gonna be our first look into Vabbi. I'm always a little disappointed with Vabbi. I wish it was a little bit more lush. I feel like it's a little bit more a little bit drier in game than like it should be. I kind of was hoping for like a very lush green place, but I guess it kind of makes sense. Also, all the art for Vabbi is absolutely awesome. So now we have Vabian scouts to give us bounties instead of Cornan priests. I'm supposed to be hunting scree harpies, but they're really dangerous. You look stronger and tougher than me. Maybe you could help out. I'll gladly share this princely bounty if you take a few of those monsters for me. Sound good? Sure. That's another thing with there weren't really too many harpies in Corna, but there are quite a few harpies in Vabbi, because just like Istan, there's a lot of areas with cliffs. Grab this gold. Oh, Margaret's leveled up. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, the pet is level 13. I said I want to keep a watch on how long it actually takes the thing to level. Here's Kahani out here, and these really tall cliffs are another feature of Vabbi that's pretty cool. Alyssa's blessings of beauty grace you until the end of your days. Talcora, it's been years since we went to school together. Oh, she knows Talcora. I've seen you fallen in with quite the group of heroes. A mysterious man approached me the other day while I was tending the old temple. He's a member of an old and powerful order. He told me to pray here and wait for your coming. Through my meditations, Alyssa showed me the perils you have faced, and I learned of the evils of Warmaster Varesh. The mysterious man told me he would wait for you in the Chanter's secrets. When we get any attendee value, I have foreseen it. Alright. I wonder who that mysterious man could be. Maybe someone who whispers. Haha. Pew pew. Here's another creature sort of native to here. Actually, I think these are Canthan. because they're called Canthan roller beetles, but I could be wrong about that. These are rain beetles. These are different. These are, you know, the variant for this area. What's this? It's 12 to 17, 14 to 20. Still making sure I'm getting weapons for everybody. Let's keep on going. This is a very cool area. I haven't actually, I haven't really vanquished a lot of Alona, so I haven't really explored a lot of Alona, but Alona is pretty cool. Definitely, though, I think my my third favorite of the regions, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just, you know, Prophecies is very traditional fantasy, which I like, and the Oriental style of factions is super, super cool. It feels a lot more fantastical. I think Alona has the problem a little bit with just being a whole bunch of desert zones, and even though you get a whole bunch of different flavors of desert with different cultural backgrounds, at the end of the day they're all just kind of like dry, arid areas, and like a lot of the things I remember about faction, or excuse me, Nightfall are the non-desert areas. So here's the Marganites. These are like demons that Varesh has summoned to help out fight her people. They're just part of the regular groups now. And they kind of signal the changing of Khornan forces is kind of an interesting story development that happens all throughout this this campaign. Someone leveled up, but I don't know who. Wasn't Margaret. I'm just gonna double check everybody's. Oh, maybe it was Zed. Zed might not have been. Yeah, Zed wasn't max level. Let's get the air magic up. There's a Marganite sorcerer. Ah, here is. I want to talk about this, so let's kill these guys real quick, and then I'm gonna talk about it. Alright. So over there is the Fortress of Jahai. You can see it off in the distance there. That's that big fortress they were looking at out of the Sunspear Sanctuary. Pretty cool. You can actually go through there. If you go down that way, you can actually go through and fight through, and I believe you can actually get back into Khorna that way. But it is very protected. There's a lot of enemies between us and there, so it's not something I'll be doing, but it is pretty cool that you can. They mention in the story that the way that you get to Vabbi is to go through the Fortress of Jahai, and it's cool that in game they let you go through the fortress, even if through the story, for story reasons, you have to go a different way. Make sure we get our shouts up. I can't wait to replace this elite. There's a better elite I'm looking for, but it's much farther in the game, so sadly we will still be waiting a little bit for that one. Margaret does not seem to have great energy management. Wonder if maybe that's something I need to look at. But yeah, this is a part that I do actually remember of Nightfall, because how I mentioned how the desert areas are kind of a little bit plain. There's the cool fortress in this zone, but you also end up walking through this river. Make sure we get down this priest. Makes it pretty memorable. Alright. We still have quite a bit of Nightfall left. But I'm starting to prepare and look forward to Eye of the North, which I am excited for. And then we have the Guild Wars Beyond to still play, so we've got plenty of the series left. But there is quite a bit of prep that needs to go in before we end up in an Eye of the North. So I need to make sure I'm gonna be doing some stuff off stream. I might actually be streaming some of that. So if you want to come hang out at my Twitch, the description is in the bottom. I don't really have a super consistent schedule, but you know, if you drop a follow, it'll just notify you whenever it's up. Or because it's stuff I've already really done, I'm just gonna be doing it on different characters, kind of hanging out. You're more than welcome to just watch the series and not care about it. But this is what I meant by this is memorable to me for some reason. Some walking through this little river here somehow makes it memorable. But here's the Chantry of Secrets, kind of like an old place. What a great descriptor. That totally tells you everything you need to know. But it's like an older temple, I guess. The Order of Whispers tends the home of the statues of the 5 true gods, while also using the Chantry as their base of operations. A secretive order. They welcome visitors, but do not share much in the way of information. Yeah, so this is where the Master of Whispers is from. Well, not from, but this is where his order is. This works a lot like the Temple of Aegis and the I forget, it's something temple in Factions that has all the different statues to the gods, and you can use that as ways to get into the Fissure of the Woe and the Underworld and stuff like that. There's actually, I want to talk about a couple things over here. So there's these hero skill vendors here. You can use these to buy skills for your heroes. This is kind of a cool mechanic for people who don't have a lot of skills unlocked on their account. It lets you unlock some skills. You don't get it as a player, though, which is a little bit annoying, but it's kind of fine because as long as you unlock stuff on your account, you get it across all your different heroes and everything like that. So that's pretty cool. There's also this dude here. So now you come here to the source, Spirit Gaggle. The source administers the distribution of reports to our agents in the field. Be sure to carefully document your mission against those who would destroy the light. When it's written in evidence to the sources, your deeds become known. Your reputation will grow within the order. If you increase your reputation enough, you can even earn hero skill points, which will be spent to teach your heroes new skills. Written evidence. I would like an empty copy of Nightfall. So essentially what this is a book that has little excerpts of all of our missions. Little like bits of information. Maybe we'll go through and read that during like the final episode of Nightfall. I still need to clean out my inventory I was just looking at. But anyway, let's talk to this guy. Whisper Ranks. What are you doing here? This place is for those willing to die for the cause. How is it possible that you reached this place without once doing anything that would mark you as a Lightbringer? What is a Lightbringer? We are all Lightbringers if we choose to be. A Lightbringer is someone who serves as a beacon to others, illuminating the way of righteousness in these dark times. Demons walk these lands as the duty of the willing to drive them back to the cold crypts from which they came. Rally the princes. Welcome to the Chantry of Secrets. So you seek to rally the princes against the darkness that's crept into this land. Indeed, your goals and that of our order are aligned. Unfortunately, the princes protect themselves with ignorance and opulence, but you're in just in time for the Festival of Liss. So Liss is a different name for Lissa, basically. Kahani will help you attain an invitation. Attend the festival and convince the princes that Varish has motives other than just your capture and their protection. When the time comes, we will aid you in the fight against much darker abominations. Homie just said things are going to get worse before they get better. So these are essentially one of the other factions in this game. So if you remember, the Luxons and Kurziks were two different factions, and there were some rewards for interacting with them. In Nightfall, they do something cool. There's the Sun Spears who you interact with, and getting your Sun Spear up gets these skills a little bit better. Very similar to the Luxon and Kurzik rank. But there is the Lightbringers as well, which have their own set of PvE unique only skills that are any profession can use them. So instead of having specific ones per profession, like the Sun Spear skills and the other ones, they're not specific per profession. They're just kind of generic. And then you also get a title, and the title actually has a bonus for wearing it. And the higher your rank, the better the bonus. And this is something they carry over into the Eye of the North factions, and it makes it really worthwhile upping your reputation with those factions. It's kind of a cool thing to do on the side that gives you more bonuses essentially for gaining the rep with these people. As like realistically, like the Sunspear points, we don't really need them anymore. There was a change many years ago that was probably one of the best changes they made to the game. Essentially, they cut down at what point you needed to have rep for the skills to be maxed out. So, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is you see how there's nothing to fear, how the numbers in green. The numbers in green there essentially used to change based on your rank. So your Sunspear rank, or like the Save Yourselves here, this would change based on your Luxon and Kurzik rank. In the past, it went from base to max. So for Luxon and Kurzik, 1 to 12. For Sunspear, I think it's 1 to 8. Stuff like that. But at some point, they cut it to the skills max out at the halfway point, which is much more obtainable. It is much nicer, especially since for the tracks that are... Well, actually, there's two different problems with it. So essentially, the Luxon and Kurzik skills, it takes forever to max the tracks. You need millions and millions of points with the different factions to max. So having the skills only be at like half effectiveness realistically, unless you were willing to grind hundreds of hours, was pretty rough, especially if you wanted to actually use the skills for things. And at the very least, though, that was account bound, so that was a once-time grind. But stuff like this Sunspear rep here, you'd have to grind per character to max out to get max effectiveness on the skills. And some of the skills for the PvE endgame were very important that you had the max rank. So you would have to grind rep on sometimes 5, 6 different characters just to have a high enough rank to be able to use these skills to be able to participate in the endgame. And it was, for a game that's very easy to get into, characters are very easy to make. Max Gears was very easy to make. It made getting into the hardcore endgame PvE really annoying if you were like a min-maxer or wanted to really push, because it meant you were suddenly a game where it took you, 6 hours maybe to have that character ready to go, skill-wise, level-wise, story-wise, all that stuff for that endgame activity you want to do. Now you needed to do a 50-hour reputation grind. And it was not a good system, and when they cut it in half, it was so great, because it's half was also about how much you get from just doing the stories, just kind of playing the game. So very nice change. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. I want to thank you all for coming out. I hope you have a great day. I will see you in the next one. We will meet up with the Princess of Vabbi. Bye-bye.